though. It's like so nice to just be able to be outside and not be freezing. It's been so cold.
That's what I've heard. I know. I'm so glad that the weather's kind of warming up for all you guys. I've been trying to push the warm weather your way. Like, look at, I leave my door open.
Oh, wow.
So
fun.
I
love. How are you?
Sorry, did you say my name?
Yes. And what are you drinking on?
I'm good. I'm just having a little vodka with water.
and a little lime too.
Vodka.
Just like vodka.
Jill, we wouldn't say anything if that was a full tumbler. That's okay.
I mean, yeah, quarantine. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, there's no rules.
Oh my goodness, you guys, when we went to, so yeah, everything opened up here in Arizona. And so like the bars and restaurants were open, and so we went to the bar to check it out, and he asked what I want, and I had no idea. Like, I was like, oh my God, I haven't ordered a cocktail in forever. Like, I was like, I used to have this like on hand. I was like, I don't know. I don't know what I want. I was like, do you have bubbly? And he's like, well, we're not opening those things because we're trying to like, and I'm like, oh shoot. Okay. I was like, I don't know. But Jill, I ordered a vodka tonic or something. So
yeah. I know. I've been drinking gin. Like, I have a couple craft gins that are really nice, but I don't know why I just went for vodka tonight. So.
Lauren, what did you make for dinner?
Chicken Parmesan.
Ooh, that's our favorite. I keep telling Aaron one of these happy hours, he's gonna share how to make that. What do you call it? Your grandma's red sauce?
Oh, Grandma's Sunday sauce. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty basic. I mean, it's like a kind of nice tomato sauce, but yeah, usually just reserved for Sundays. But now, if I can start it at lunchtime instead of cook all day, stir it every couple hours, and we're good.
Nice.
Totally. So you'll have to try that on your parm next time, LB, when we try that.
So yeah, a lot of stuff is opening back up here in Cincinnati, and there's actually like some streets that are closing down to expand the outside seating. So there's like a lot of like streets that normally people would like drive on and park on that are going to be like exited off. That way there'll be like a ton of patio seating, which I think is so cool.
I know.
Yes.
I always wanted that open container to pass an OTR in the banks when I lived there, because people were kind of just do it anyway. And like, I love, that's one of the things I love about Court Street. It hasn't been developed, but I'm like, oh my God, this street could be so cute with just the whole street outdoor, like seating, outdoor cafes. So, I mean, I'm excited to see that, especially in OTR. Those restaurants are so tiny. They need to be able to overflow into the streets. They don't have big outdoor space. Some of them have none. So,
Right.
yeah, interested to see what happens.
Totally. Jill, really quick, meet Kelly. Kelly is one of she's Cincinnati bloggers.
Oh, okay. It's so nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you as well. Where are you from, Jill?
I live in Northern Kentucky. Yeah.
You do? Oh, okay, great.
We just went and visited from 6 feet away, visited friends. They just had a baby and they live in Florence.
Oh,
so we drove out there and waved to them from the window.
I just did that to see a friend's baby the other day too.
Did you? I know, so weird.
I know. You miss all the snuggles that way, but oh well.
I was like, man, the countdown is on though, right? Like, as soon as we're able to go and visit in person, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm curious too, like we've had this discussion of like how people are going to react. And I think that depending on where you are in the different areas and kind of like whether it's, I don't know, just the different areas, I think everyone's going to react a little bit differently. And some places will be more conservative and other places will be just kind of like where I was the other day, like people were handshaking and hugging and not obeying the 6 feet rule and like everything. It was crazy. And we were like, okay, we're going to have our little table in the corner and we've got our hand sanitizer. Anyway, all right, guys. Well, we might have a smaller group here today, but I'm going to go ahead and get us started. We have a pretty fun topic, and it kind of came about because recently I had been sort of asked to start traveling again, and it kind of just took me back, and I was like, oh, it feels kind of soon to already start thinking about travel. And it used to be such part of like my, like, every like day I was going somewhere. It's like, where in the world is Angela? And it was just part of my daily life. And now travel seems so strange. So I don't know. I kind of just wanted to open up conversation around it. So today our topic is, well, first I want to do a toast. I always start off with a toast. So our toast today is about dreaming and kind of this virtual reality. You can pretend that you're anywhere. Cheers, everyone. So today's topic opened up again, kind of more of a conversational sharing experience. And our topic is Take Me on a Jet Plane. And is that a near-term reality or a distant dream? So as the restrictions start to open up, the thought about traveling is obviously like starting to surface again. And I'm not sure if it's surfaced with you guys as well, but just want to open it up and have conversation around it. So, but to start it off, I found this on Instagram the other day and thought it was hilarious. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys really quick to kick off our conversation. Hopefully I do this right. I think it's this one. Okay, share. Okay, can you guys see that?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Okay, are you ready? This was the,
Love it.
oh my God. I like died laughing because I was like, what is travel even going to look like? You know, when we go back to travel, I have no idea. So I thought I'd kick off the conversation with that. And then also, if you see down in the bottom right hand corner, Lauren, help me out with this. Down by your stop video, there's a little arrow. And then you can say choose virtual background. So as we're talking, if you have any photos of either your favorite vacation spot or somewhere that you were supposed to be around this time or this year or during the past couple months and weren't able to go, just throw that picture up there and then we'll kind of go around and just all kind of discuss you know, where our plans to be are and maybe where our first place that we would venture to once travel is safe again. So kicking it off, yeah, it's just going to be open conversation. So keep your mics open. So basically, yeah, just what are you guys' thoughts in general about travel? And anyone, thoughts in general? Yay, nay?
Yeah, I mean, I think some of the concerns with travel is more coming back and having to quarantine, you know, depending on your job. Like my boyfriend, like his company's already put on any personal travel through the end of the year. You have to quarantine at home for 14 days. So now, today they just announced they're keeping the work at home going probably indefinitely to the end of the year. But prior to that, it was really like if we wanted to, like we have a wedding Labor Day weekend in Cincinnati, like if we want to go, then he would have to quarantine for 14 days when he got back. So I think that part is interesting in the dynamics of your job or where you go. If you travel and you're in an office space, you have to quarantine after. I think most of the airlines are requiring people to wear masks, which is interesting. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's more of a social thing or people. One of my friends who lives in Savannah, you know, was talking about, you know, these tourists are coming in because Georgia opened pretty quickly. And they're like, oh, one customer's like, I just landed from LA. She's like, I don't want your California, you know, coming here, you know. So I think it's just a stigma of people, you know, maybe concerned that once you land, where did you fly from kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. A lot of like, yeah, I don't know if it's like judgment, but I mean, it is in a way, and, you know, bringing things different places. Anybody else? What are your thoughts?
Has anybody else been getting like a ton of travel emails as far as like how cheap tickets are? Because I've been looking and that's what's making me like completely for it. We were actually like looking up like Airbnbs that we could rent out for like a month and like quarantine at, because the flights to Hawaii from like how we normally do it from like Cali to then to Hawaii, it's like $900, I think, but right now they're like $330. So like if you are gonna travel, like what Tracy was saying, like you're gonna obviously have to quarantine when you get back, but if you are working from home and you can, like really now's the time because it's so affordable.
Good point. Yeah, it's crazy. I heard too, like even trips to, well, I guess international travel is banned right now, but like even looking in the future, like it's crazy cheap.
Yeah. My background is where I was supposed to be flying to today for my sister's 40th birthday in the south of France. So I can't be there.
Oh my god.
I actually am like, I mean, I'm sad I'm missing some trips, and obviously we have a mutual friend. We were all supposed to go to their wedding, but I'm even more sad that you guys don't get to do this like trip. That was such a big deal for you guys, and you know, I'm super sad at that. Like,
I know. My sister's so bummed, and it was like, you know, a lot of eight couples with children. It's really hard to coordinate childcare to get 8 people or 8 couples to go somewhere, and you know, it is what it is. So who knows when Europe will open up again for sure. But even so, like, I would feel comfortable maybe driving and like, you know, plunking down somewhere for a while and relaxing, and then feeling like I could mitigate my risk like that. I don't know when I'll be ready to fly. I'm still so nervous right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same.
What's your background? Is that New York?
Yeah, I was supposed to go with my mom. I got a trip for her for like her birthday and kind of Christmas together. We were going to go and see musicals, and I haven't been to New York in a while. But that's not a great place to go right now. So
yeah, and Broadway's now shut down through the end of summer. So
Yeah.
can you go see the Broadway shows you guys wanted to go see?
Yeah, so that's a huge bummer. But oh well.
Yeah, that's tough. Kelly,
New York is so fun too.
Yeah, Kelly, where would you be?
Well, my husband and I are both super big travelers. So last year we went to London and Paris and Turkey, which was super fun. This year we were supposed to go to Germany and Austria, but I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately. I had convinced my husband to kind of veer off and go back to Paris. Has anybody been to Paris before?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. We had the best time there. So that's probably where I would be if I could choose anywhere, there or New York. I'm a big New York girl.
City gal.
Yes, sister, for sure.
Erin, where would you be?
Oh, I don't know. It's a tough question. Probably go back to Chicago. So, which I mean, we may end up doing anyway, right? For some of these sales meetings, if they
I know.
get put back on the docket. But yeah, I'd love to see my family back there and you know, go to a Cubs game. Which I mean, obviously they might have the baseball season, but I don't know if we're gonna be able to sit in the stands. So yeah, probably go back to Chicago.
I like it. Chicago's a great place. Pack me in your suitcase.
That's when all of a sudden those houses that have views of the Chicago Cubs stadium, you know, those prices are going to be super high now because you can sit in the house and still you'll be the only people watching the game. So.
Oh yeah.
Tracy, how about you?
I mean, obviously, even though I live in California and LA is home right now, I mean, the first thing I want to do is get to Cincinnati. I mean, I miss everyone there. I miss my daughter. Like, we have friends' weddings, 2 weddings, one in September, one in October. So, like, I think just for personal purposes, I don't care about even going anywhere crazy vacation. I just want to get back to, you know, my home, you know, previous home to see everyone there. So, that will definitely be the first place that I will head to. So, and then probably Napa to help Erin with, you know, moving everything in the new warehouse.
Yes, exactly.
I can drive. See, I can drive to that, but I drove to Cincinnati from Cincinnati here, but I'm not doing that drive again. So it'll be happening there.
Yep, I drove from Chicago out here too a couple years ago, and yeah, that's a big drive.
Yeah.
Such a thoughtful group. Everything around helping people and being with family and very thoughtful. Olivia, you went, right? Did you tell us where you would go?
Oh yeah, I mean, I would go back to Hawaii just because it was so cheap, but we had to cancel 3 trips just because of all this. So I was gonna go to my first winery, which I was so excited about. I'd never been to a winery, and that was the trip that we went through our company, which was gonna be so fun. And I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I think it's called the Chateau Alon. It's in Georgia. So, oh well, we just got back from the Bahamas, so we consider that pretty lucky that we got in right before this all happened. Well, actually, we got back from Florida right before all this happened, but I mean, Florida's like fully open, so if you guys want to go there, you can.
That is crazy. And I feel like they were one of the last ones to really like crack down, because I remember the beaches where people were still partying on the beaches for spring break. And yeah, I'm so shocked. Shocked at that.
It's not that bad though. My sister lives there, and it's more like, unless you're in Miami, it's very spread out. People aren't on top of each other, so they're just not really transmitting it as much, you know? They're outdoors most of the time, and the beaches are not packed. Those photos are crazy. They're not packed at all. So
That's crazy. Oh, well, obviously, I think I was supposed to be in Italy, I think around this time. I don't even know where my trip was going to be, but yeah, I miss that. I think, yeah, missing the friends that we made there. We usually go and see them once a year. And then there's this wonderful little woman that lives there. She's, I think, gosh, like in her 90s, and we call her our Nona. And it's her birthday the day after, 2 days after Austin's birthday. So I was hoping to be able to see her then as well. But she's in a nursing home currently, so I'm just hoping that she's all right. But I was going to go. I usually visit her every time that I'm there, and are friends with her family and everything. So I'm sad that I don't get to see her. That's probably the biggest thing, especially because she's older. But hope I get to see her the next time I go. Fingers crossed. But
yeah, I think it's interesting, the conversation. Everyone's talked about somewhere going to see someone or with someone. It hasn't been so much necessarily about sightseeing, about seeing and family and stuff too. You know, I think that's kind of what a lot of people with the travel, I think there's both sides of it. One, travel for seeing people, and then, yeah, there's great travel deals and opportunity to go see these places, but I think a lot of people's priority is just being able to travel to see, you know, friends or family.
yeah.
And the weddings too, I think that's, I mean, we all have people that have had weddings or weddings moved or weddings canceled. I mean, a lot of those type of things. I mean, that industry and weddings has been hit really hard as well too, because think about it, how many people dream about their big day? You know, a few people did the virtual weddings, but most people want the big day, you know, so that's interesting as well too, the travel on that.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. I just had a friend that had a baby just over Mother's Day weekend, and even that, like, the family couldn't come to the hospital, and it's just a different thing. What do you guys think security will be like when we go back to the airports? It's already like, I'm usually the one that gets there like right as my plane is like boarding. I'm like the last one on. But like now, do you think that the security lines will be longer or shorter? Or do you think that they'll not allow people to get there early, as some people usually do? What do you guys think that's going to look like?
Well, hopefully things like the temperature checks and stuff don't end up taking forever. Like, I know that they were just doing, like, you would just like walk through like a shoot almost, and like the camera would just read your temperature kind of. So like, hopefully that stuff can happen pretty fast. But you're right that they might have to, I mean, there's already going to be fewer flights. Like so that seems like it would decrease the people problem. And there's like at least a third less people booked on every flight now, since they're cutting out the middle seats. So you already have smaller flow. I'm worried about prices for flights going up later. It's like they're low right now, but like they might have to go up later when people are trying to fly, because they have less volume and they're making less money per seat.
Well, if you guys want to invest in anything, invest in some RV companies. Because I might be done with flying here soon if that's the case, because I already hate overpaying for flights, and they're already so pricey. If they were to go up, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
I feel like it's either going to be packed to where like people are like, I'm going regardless, or people are going to be really hesitant and be like, it'll be empty. You know what I mean?
I think as far as the airport, probably,
guys.
as far as the airports and the security line, I think that's what you're referring to, Angela. They'll probably do what you see at the grocery stores and Costco's. There'll be the things on the ground with the space, and we'll all still wait in security line, but it'll just be spaced out. So it's still the same amount of people, just spaced. So the line might look longer, but really it's just because there's like more space. So I think they'll probably do that with the ticket counter. Ticket counters will probably have the plastic in front. Yeah, so I think that'll all be kind of, I think will be the big thing. Again, with every venue, there's going to be these lines on the floor. So I would say invest in like a duct tape company or something. I don't know what they're using. That's what you see everywhere, is literally these like
So many lines.
Lines everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, and a lot of lines that like don't necessarily make sense. Like I went to the post office and I genuinely had no idea where I was supposed to stand and nobody else did either. So everybody just kind of like announced the number that they were when somebody walked in. Like I'm next in line, you'll be 7th. It was very, very weird. And I feel like I have a lot of like rule following paranoia about not getting too close to somebody or like trying to figure out if I'm doing the right thing in a store or not. Because I don't want anybody to freak out, feel like they're going to get sick and die because I accidentally got too close to them. Right. I was at an outdoor plant market. I don't know if you guys know Bada Bloom by the Hyde Park Kroger, but there were 6-foot markers on the ground, but you could only walk like single file down each row to like see the different flowers that were there. But if somebody stopped, everybody just had to stop. Like, you couldn't like look at the stuff that you needed to, so you were like trapped on the conveyor belt. And I was like, I gotta get past this person already late for Mother's Day. I'm trying to get a hanging basket from my mom, but I don't want to do the wrong thing and then get yelled at. So I was nervous.
Yeah. Which will be interesting because I think there has been some places that have shut down because people are a little bit aggressive and rioting and kind of pushing forward and not following that stuff. So that'll be, I'm sure there'll be some, TSA arrests at the airport with just crazy travelers, disgruntled travelers.
I think too, what I experienced, I was at the post office the other day and like, yeah, they had the lines and everything, but then there was one guy who was trying to get over to like grab some packaging. And so like I stepped back so he could have just a little bit more room. And then like he looked shocked, like almost like offensed that like
like you thought he smelled.
Like, yeah, or like I was doing it for him, like to be courteous of his space because I knew he was trying to get through. But then he probably thought that I was like, get away from me, like.
I know.
So it's so hard. So hard. What do you guys think? Was anyone scared before of traveling? Or I feel like all you guys are pretty travelers, but no one apprehensive?
That this happened, maybe it'll actually like cleaner. Like now they'll be so conscious of like cleaning things. And I was saying to my boyfriend, I was like, why isn't there someone standing outside wiping the carts always? Like, why is that just now a dedicated job? There's so many people that like a job or whatever. Why is that not always a thing? So I feel like now like implementing so many amazing like tactics like to be precautionary to where I'm like, maybe it'll be better now because they're gonna really wipe down the plane after each people, which I hear they don't normally. So yeah, it's scary, but I'm like eager to do it. I feel so cooped up in Ohio.
Yeah.
I agree with Olivia on that. I feel like it's like, even though some of us might be OCD and like we are already like wiping down the tray of the airplane and everything, but I think now it'll become more of a standard. So I think it'll actually, outside of this, I think for a lot of us that aren't highly susceptible or whatever, like it'll be actually cleaner in most of these places. You already see it in the grocery stores. I mean, it's insane. So I think that part of it, I agree with Olivia. Like things are it's actually cleaner to go. So I think unless you're super high risk, it's actually probably safer from you getting sick that you would have maybe when people say, oh, I when I have a cold or I have whatever, it's probably going to be a little better.
And I always have something on like, so it's so weird to think about, like, I don't know. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm eager to do it. Hopefully we'll probably go somewhere in July.
Wow. Are you already planning? Yeah, I'm curious, like how soon will everybody be ready to travel? So you're ready in July.
Yeah. I'm the wait and see model.
Oh, Lauren, wait and see.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what the Midwest brokers have in mind. I mean, if they want us out there in June, I'm open to it.
I'm likely to drive somewhere this year, but I don't know if I'll be jumping in a plane.
Fair.
So in preparation for this call tonight, I actually talked to my cousin on Zoom for a little bit. He's a pilot. And so he was, I just said, what are you thinking about all of the new restrictions and people's kind of anxiety? And he was discussing the plane cleaning, and he said they cannot continue that after every flight because if people start adding more flights, they won't be able to turn them around. It takes almost an hour to clean the plane. So if you think about that, it's not something that they can sustain, especially with not as many people buying tickets too. So it's like it costs them money, the turnaround time. So he was saying we all just need to pick up better personal habits about bringing our own little wipes or Clorox spray or whatever we do to always wipe down your own seatbelt, your own tray, things that should probably be your standard. But again, you know, they're recirculating that air in the cabin. I think he said it's like 3 seconds that something hangs in the air before it gets sucked up and cleaned. So the air on the plane is extremely clean. You're much more likely to get sick from being in your office building that they're circulating the same floor over and over again.
Yeah, Jill, I've heard that as well too. They're saying actually the airplane air is actually not bad. So I think I agree. I think it's a little safer than some other venues because they have to do that anyway. So
This is all very convincing.
yeah,
You didn't need any more convincing.
Olivia's like, put me on a plane now, girl.
Yeah, she's ready.
And I'm just like, I don't want to let them expire. And it's honestly just like, I don't know. It's like a risk at all moment. Like, do I let these miles expire?
All miles, I think we're extended 2 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say most miles they're not letting expire anymore. The most places have extended all the airlines have extended benefits and stuff. So you should be fine.
Check those. They're probably good.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a great tip.
Yay. So you don't have to rush. No rushing. Oh, what was my other question? Oh, what are your thoughts on like luggage? So apparently like the virus doesn't really stick to soft-sided surfaces as much as it does hard-sided surfaces. Like, do you think people would be more susceptible to buying more soft-sided luggage now or like keeping with the hard? Like the hard is like all the new craze and like I just got my little away. And, like,
yeah, that has been all the rage, the away luggage.
Uh-huh.
I mean, Maggie has an enormous away luggage thing that, you know, the big pink one. And she overpacked it when we went to Italy 2 years ago. And it weighed like 70 pounds. I had to take many, many pounds of her luggage into my luggage so that she didn't have to pay like $100. And I was like, you're going to break my luggage at the beginning of this trip and I'm going to be pissed.
We all have friends like that.
I think if you like for us, we have like a little water, you can get like, you know, water spray thing. It's like this big, we take it everywhere and just fill it. So alcohol, if you dilute it slightly, it's actually safe on every surface. It's not going to ruin anything. You can do it on your car, you do it, whatever. So like for us, I think we would just, when our bags came down, we just spray everything. Like we're just crazy. We spray like everything. We're in the car, spray. So like you can get access to alcohol and slightly dilute it. It's actually safe on every single surface they've said. So I would think that, you know, at least for us, we would just do one of the little travel hairspray size ones if we were doing a carry-on only, you know, that we could just, when the bags came, we can just kind of, that's my plan to like always have that hairspray bottle, 3 ounces full of like an alcohol spray that we can spray the airplane when we get there, spray whatever. And then when our bags come off, spray. And so I think that's something that's smart to always just kind of keep that with you anyway as we move forward, because you literally can spray all the things with it and it won't damage anything.
Is it just like rubbing alcohol that you dilute? Just like regular rubbing alcohol?
Yep. And so, I mean, it's been a little hard to find when this all happened, but I now think it's a lot easier to find this stuff. So you can look online. It'll give you the dilution properties based on the strength of the alcohol. So.
Got it.
But if you do one of the little travel hairspray bottles, we've all seen those. They're like small. You fill it up with that. Just always keep it in your little, when you travel, your carry-on little thing, liquids. And then this way, when you get on the plane, you can spray it with that. You can spray it, you know. That's easier to find, I think, than the wipes. The wipes are still kind of a little bit of a challenge to find.
Mm-hmm.
So, but.
And then you like have it and then it's dirty and you're like, ooh, what do I do with this now? And you're like.
Then you got to touch like a million surfaces to like get to the trash can.
Yeah, it's a process. All right, guys. We're running close on time, but I have a few rapid fire questions for you. Okay, so we'll start. I'll like call out your names because I don't know if you're in the same order on your screen as you are on my screen. So like 5 rapid fire questions. All right, the first question is Uber or drive yourself? Tracy.
Drive myself.
Aaron.
Drive myself.
Lauren.
Where?
Anywhere.
Like
Airport, relating to travel. Airport or?
Oh, drive myself.
Kelly.
Drive myself for sure.
Jill.
Drive myself.
Olivia.
Same, drive.
And me. Drive. Although I did see on Instagram again, someone was in an Uber and they had this like clear shower curtain that like came down or something to like keep the distance between two people. So I don't know, they're going to be implementing new things too. So I guess just keeping our eyes open for what they're doing. Okay.
Well,
next.
cabs used to have the plexiglass. When people used to use cabs, it was a dying business. But literally, go to New York or anything, it was all that plexiglass, and maybe it's more for bullets. But now it's for.
I don't know how much of it was bulletproof.
I know, right?
All right. We answered some of these, but okay, this all relates to travel. Warm or cold? Tracy.
Cold.
Aaron.
Warm.
Lauren.
Warm.
Kelly.
Cold.
Jill.
Warm.
Olivia.
Warm, hot.
Blazing.
I second Olivia. That's a good little mix. A good little mix. Traveling with family, friends, or both? Tracy.
Both probably.
And with or to? I should phrase that differently.
Oh, well, that makes it complicated.
Oh, sorry. Just say with. With. If you're next.
Well, I don't have any family here, so with boyfriend to see friends and family.
Aaron.
Traveling with friends. I love my family, but they don't travel well.
Lauren.
Friends.
Kelly.
I'd say both.
Jill.
I'm both. Yeah.
Olivia.
Friends all the way.
And I'll say both. All right. Are you more of a resort person or sort of remote? All-inclusive resort or do your own thing? Tracy.
That's so hard because I probably do my own thing because all-inclusive resorts tend to be on beaches and I'm not a beach person. I'm definitely a Europe, big city person, New York. So like there is no all-inclusive. So do my own thing.
Aaron.
Same. Yep. Do my own thing.
Lauren.
DIY.
Kelly.
Same here. Do your own thing.
Jill.
Boring answer. My own thing.
Olivia.
If I could pick, long enough to do both, but do it yourself if I had to choose.
And I'm the same. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks you guys. We have so much in common and I think a lot to look forward to. And we're all learning day by day what the travel situation is going to look like. But at least there's fun little videos and things on Instagram and anywhere else that we can find that'll keep our minds wandering, and beautiful backgrounds that we can do on our virtual and pretend that we're sipping vino, except my wine glass is missing. But vino
You're miming
That's
wine
so weird.
glass.
Maybe we'll all be able to disappear soon and then this virus can't catch us. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining the happy hour. Kelly, so nice to meet you. And we will
So
see
nice
you guys.
to meet you guys.
So nice to meet you too. And we'll see you guys next week.
Okay.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye, everybody.